on fire right now. And
But,
interesting, EG just straight up picks Puck first.
Oh, and Nyx. Oh my god. The hero's so annoying to play against.
What about him?
TI counters like half the hero pool, like all the intelligent heroes.
Oh yes, mana burn that burns mana proportional to the intelligence of the hero getting targeted.
And then Carapace, like you just like Puck presses Q and you press Carapace and Puck's dead. That's it. All night.
Well, I'm curious about this Puck first pick. I mean, let's assume he's mid for a moment. Would not be surprising to see him go elsewhere. This is
I think that's a poor assumption though, because that's why that's why EG picks him first a lot. It's one of it was their common opener, and then it was straight banned every single time first phase against them for like a month because they would run it off lane and then push with Drow when you thought you had a mid Puck countered. So
actually, didn't they?
Yeah, that's the draw ban. Yeah.
Have Puck in position 4 or 5? Or something
yes, they had a position 5 Puck as well.
Yeah.
Disregard that line of thought then.
So you see Drow and Lycan being removed both here. Drow being removed by Empire and Lycan by EG.
Interesting.
Well, when anyone has Night Stalker, Lycan becomes a very viable hero. As you get more nighttime, Lycan becomes stronger.
Does
And
it surprise you that EG were the ones to ban out Lycan? I mean,
No,
we've seen
because
Night Stalker Lycan.
it's fine for Empire, I think, to pick it as well. I mean, it doesn't matter who has the Night Stalker.
Yeah, and Empire has the first pick after the 4 bans, so they can actually steal Lycan from EG, so they just ban it. Oh, that's Enigma again. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be Puck offlane. They're already banning like 2 of Universe heroes.
Yeah, I mean, the Enigma, such a strong hero for Universe, always has... Oh, Faceless Void ban as well for EG.
Yeah, combos with Separation.
He's also one of those heroes. We did see Rezo play, was it yesterday, and where he did very well on that Faceless Void, and you know he carried that game pretty hard, and they're probably scared of that, especially in combination with the AA, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and that game was so impressive to see. I mean, Resolution kept #1 net worth the entire game. I don't even think he died, or if he did, it was only once.
He didn't, I think. Yeah.
Just
he rushed Linken's. It's one of those heroes that has like nice impact the whole game, and then he carries later on.
I think there's an increasing likelihood that we'll see TA. TA hasn't seen much play, but that's because Nyx has been first banned every single time, and now that Nyx is in the game, like Invoker, Quap, Puck, like a lot of these mid heroes just you can't pick, or you can't pick and expect to do very, very well in the game. Ember also, like just most of the mid heroes. I think TA actually matches pretty well versus both of these heroes on Empire too.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation you bring up, that Nyx Assassin has been one of the most influential heroes on the mid lane, just honestly kind of chilling nearby. We've seen Nyx Assassins getting mana burn at level 1 in a lot of those matchups.
Yeah, you played against that yourself, didn't you? Against was it Secret?
I've been a big team of the Nyx Assassins W.
Yeah. It doesn't feel so good.
Oh, it took the B now.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
This is kind of to counteract the Night Stalker Vision game from Empire here. It's a good hero. It also allows you usually to kind of push, kind of go 5-man sort of early on, and then rendering Night Stalker kind of useless. On top of that,
Nature's Prophet. I may go for it.
And Veno AA is a great combo.
Exactly.
That is terrifying as a core.
Just the absolutely massive damage from Venomancer's poison abilities, particularly ultimate plus AA's ultimate.
And they have the Icy Vortex, and then Veno usually builds Veil too. It just compounds.
Yeah, once your BKBs are 5 seconds, and unless you have some sort of summons and stuff to push base, it's really difficult to push base against that.
Nice call to Motto on the Nature's Prophet.
I don't know which team did earlier. It was Night Stalker, Nature's Prophet. Oh, I think it was LFY, and they just homed.
EG also has run this before with great success in group stages.
They might go for like Clockwork Sanking.
10 seconds remaining.
So you think Nyx is going to be offlane?
5 seconds.
No, I think Sanking off. I think like they don't have enough setup for like Answering the Perdition. Or they could just like pick Ember now.
What position do you think Venomancer will be run in Team Empire?
Definitely Curry. Oh, spin again.
Hello, Resolution. Welcome back.
Could be a mid Veno, maybe?
Yeah,
likely.
it's pretty strong, pretty stable.
Yeah, because I don't think that you don't really want to give that Venomancer to Resolution. It doesn't. It's not like it's not really that type of hero that carries the game, so to speak.
5 seconds remaining.
Also, was it Team Secret that ran? No, excuse me, that was Team Liquid that ran Venomancer in mid against Team Secret, opting to avoid getting the wards early. Just make sure that the Gale was
I'm gonna
maxed
go
out
for
first.
Shadow Shot.
This also kind of makes sure that EG don't really want to go for that TA anymore. It's kind of unlikely at least
Yeah.
Yep.
that you go for the TA into Sven and Venno, Sven with the Warcry, and then also all the AoE like damage over time from Venno.
He's a pretty strong laner. He's like a mini Viper. We saw like no one do that stuff. He max Gale, and then he has like push out the enemy. He press Gale, and the enemy has to run.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, if you have Gale with Night Stalker, oh gosh, is that such a vicious combination.
We've seen Razor a few times to counter Sven. Trying to think about RTZ's hero here.
Yeah.
There's not too many others. Hopefully not PL again.
Yeah, and Empire actually do have last pick.
Yeah, who are the carries still available that Arteezy might run in this position?
I think it's the Racer. I don't see any other option. There's no Void. There's no Lycan.
I think it's really hard to play Razor against AA.
Yeah, it's not a nice game. But they could just like last pick a nice strong laner and then go aggro.
They could pick AM too. They do AM versus Venno.
AM against Sven though?
It's playable.
Yeah, it's nice.
There's not that many options, right? Not many things left.
Wyvern again.
This pick it like it counters the Sven directly.
So at this point, it looks like Evil Geniuses is waiting for pick 5 for Arteezy.
Yeah, I mean, I could see they could go kind of all in and do some sort of like bone, like some clinks or something. That's not Arteezy hero. We haven't seen it in a while though.
Ooh, that would be fun. I would love to see Clinks. He creates a lot of action in the mid game, running around invisible.
These heroes like this AA and some of those like Venomancer potentially can die very easily to that hero.
Yeah, they definitely don't have good mobility at all and are extremely squishy.
They also need a pipe though on EG.
Just they're gonna Bat Rider. They don't Bat Rider, could be bad.
Yeah, Bat Rider's lasso obviously great at snatching Nature's Prophet, who tends to have weak mobility.
A little tough to play versus NS though.
Hey, Bat Rider, nice call, and
Oh,
terrible.
That was an insta pick. They're confident.
All right, when in doubt, go to the Terrorblade.
What about Terrorblade fits in here? I mean, obviously there's Sven, who's great against illusions in general with his cleave attack. Why Terrorblade here for EG? Does it fit into the fact that they want to do a push-heavy lineup?
Fits multiple reasons. Yeah, I think he pushes very well. He's one of the few heroes that can also heal up from AA and Venno. I think Weaver and Terrorblade are they're like the two main cores that can still get their HP back. But mostly, I think because it fits into their push quite well.
He can kite the Sven. Kind of nice too.
There's still LC. LC Empire picks a lot, especially now that the Terrorblade might be okay.
Yeah, I think also is pretty nice.
But not good versus Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
But it's good for the summons. I don't know. It's kind of a tough call here.
Only 15 seconds left for Team Empire with their final pick. And already they have a pretty nice setup to just make sure that Resolution can be comfortable.
Are they gonna random like newbie? Oh,
Right.
Ah, Mirana.
Okay, so that's a mid Mirana. Oh.
Wow, FN.
So
hit
is this the
Mirana.
off lane? Is it Venomancer off lane or the Nyx? Yeah, it's Venno off lane. So they're taking kind of a page out of. Was
Could-
it Liquid
Could they aggro?
who ran that? They could potentially try that.
Yeah. Is jungling viable still? I haven't seen
I
any.
haven't seen
Yeah, I haven't seen in a while. I think jungling's pretty bad now.
Well, at this point, the lineups have been locked in. EG, 1 game away from elimination. Empire, 1 game away from top 8. Let's head into game number 2 of EG versus Empire.
Who thought we could potentially be in this position, Cinder? And Evil Geniuses 1 game away from being eliminated from TI7. I know the crowd here will have something to say about that, but so will Team Empire, being 1 game up so far. I'm not going to say a convincing performance, a long performance, so a typical Empire performance.
You don't think they were convincing that last game?
I don't think it was one-sided. compared to the games we were looking at yesterday, like this was a little bit more where potentially EG had a chance to come back.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a complete shutout, but I definitely say Empire had control.
I think they dominated for minute 25. But you're right. For the first part of the game, it looked like a pretty close game. Now we'll see in this game if Evil Geniuses can come together better, play their lineups advantages a bit better, and this time around at least they won't have the vision problem. This time they have the Night Stalker.
Yep.
There's no Batrider in the game. There is a Nyx, which is like a wild card thing, because Nyx support, I would say in general, has had huge success this tournament, and it's good against specific heroes in this game, but I do consider Night Stalker a pretty good matchup against Nyx overall. The silence is very annoying. If he sees you on top of a sentry ward at any point, he can actually just almost solo kill you, but at least set you up for a very easy kill for your team. Once again, though, I have to question a little bit. I'm not sure about this Winter Wyvern pick again. It seems a little bit out of place. It's being picked into 3 or 4 magic damage heroes from Empire. It's good against the Sven, sure, but does that really give the hero, turn the hero into a good pick? I'm personally not the biggest fan of this choice. I think the rest of the picks for EG are good and make a lot of sense for what they want to do.
I'm interested to see if it's
Let's see if
also
it
a
comes
pickup
together.
to try and counter against some other potential options. But then again, like the Ancient Apparition from Empire kind of counters almost everything that EG was potentially also thinking about jumping into. I'm thinking about what's happening with the Alchemist pickup. If it was going to come in straight up Deep Warden, so EG will at least have a safe flame vision advantage. And Crit can be the first one to spill blood, even though it's a poor, innocent ward.
Damn, it's been a long time since I've seen this. Night Stalker without wings. That's
I don't know if we actually have that with the Observer.
pretty sure they do. I think I saw it
on.
on their monitors.
He's been clipped. He's a house bird now, this Night Stalker.
An old bug.
Yeah, he's currently missing his wing. So I'm sorry, you've been clipped. Resolution. Actually, Universe had a really wonderful play. He just locked him into the edge of a tree and did a good 200 damage and forced Resolution already burned 1 Tango. And it wasn't even the hero. It was just the trees doing the work.
Zai's going to try to come in and contest the rune, but Ghostic is there. Will actually skill Gale. They do have Arrow on FN as a possibility as
Crit's
well.
on the way in. He doesn't
and Roger's connecting.
He doesn't have Cold Embrace here for Crit. So instead, it's just the Arrow. Zai, real issues for him, and FN will take the first kill, bringing down Night Stalker. That was an interesting mission. He didn't have an Observer ward. It was just Boots Smoke running across the river, maybe Courier Snipe.
It's very unusual for support to be killed there. At least it has been in this tournament. The Venom's positioning was excellent there from Ghostic, and they had the right heroes at the right time to make that kill happen. Now, he did have to skill Gale. This will make him a bit weaker in this lane, arguably. He would like to have Poison Sting going up against the Terrorblade. This good sustained magic damage harassment can give him an advantage, but at the same time, it's also 1-on-2. I'm wondering what Ghostic's going to do here, if he's going to be able to get some good experience or just get shut out.
He's going to get body blocked up by Crit. You can taunt all you want with bananas, but you've just slipped on the peel, trying to run away from that Metamorphosis. Arteezy has to go down the river, but Arctic Burn just came back off cooldown for Crit. There goes your Gale, but Zai, remember where this guy was, body blocks him up and allows Crit, in fact, to get the last hit. EG will get something for their safe lane, but Sumail, real issues in the mid, back under the tier 1 tower. They don't have mana burn, it's the Impale. They trigger off the south, the damage from FN is enough. One last arrow from the Mounted Ranger, able to reach behind the tier 1 tower.
Really nice plays from both teams. That body block from Crit was beautiful. That was a 3 or 4 second full body block that he managed to pull off, and it was necessary for Zai to connect. And at the same time, they get this connection in mid, and for once, Nyx skilled stun level 1 and not mana burn, and that's because they went for that first blood. And it did probably, I didn't see the play itself, but it was probably a connection with the Impale into the arrow of FN being able to set that kill up. So,
and he still gets level 2 now, so the hard life for the Intel heroes in the mid begins again for Sumail. Needs to have his bottle, but for the moment he's only bringing out the healing salve as well as the circle of the universe. Resolution. Oh, there's not much more they can do to him apart from remove his life, but that's a big thing when he's only got 3 tangos left. And Crit, okay, tries to juke it in the trees, moves back up again, has to take flight, does not have a TP scroll, so Ghostic and Roger will be hunting this support. He buys Boots Crit, and he can afford a TP scroll as well now, but that means at least he doesn't lose any gold, but he'll lose his life under the tier 2 tower to Ghostic. Nice level 3 up for this Venomancer now.
I think Crit was hoping to snipe the courier, but it's not in use, else his positioning there makes absolutely no sense. He's out in the middle of nowhere, but no courier to be found. Empire get themselves a freebie. Fortunately for Crit, like you said, almost no gold lost. He managed to buy up his items at the very least. So, did he get the bounty rune? He didn't get the bounty rune there either, right?
No.
Or maybe? I'm actually not sure. Maybe he managed
He was passing through the neighborhood.
He may have got it.
Universe got Bounty Rune, Posh got Zai, and Crit all got the recent Bounty Runes.
So I guess Crit did get that.
Yep. Ghostic, Zai, and RTZ. Well, trying to get rid of the Plague Wards. They're only level 1, so they're actually quite easy to deal with, so easy CS on the top lane. This Invis Rune of Maposhka with a Lava combination, and the bottom is one way to do it. Even though Resolution doesn't have the War Cry to allow him just to dive underneath the tower, he still has the Storm Bolt, which synergizes nicely with the Cold Feet. And they can get that bonus damage from the Chilling Touch, which was early leveled up by AA.
That's one of the strongest dual lanes in Dota. I think Sven AA is really powerful, maybe only really surpassed in terms of kill potential by something like Wraith King AA, which is
Smoke Ants
arguably
coming.
even better.
Crit and Zai making their way towards the mid lane. FN's the one who's a very long way up underneath the tower. He wants to come up because it's a double creep wave there. Sumail can turn to try and fight. Universe will join in, and now you're seeing the power that can come with Nature's Prophet on your side. 4 heroes being brought, but that power still needs to result in the kill. The bottom charges from Mirana will not be enough for FN to survive, and Sumail will be the one to claim the scalp.
Ooh, that was close. It's important for EG to get that kill. I think that was a 5 damage kill or something like a 5 damage overkill. Else FN would have been able to bottle again and actually survive that. So EG, by the skin of their teeth, they get that kill, and now they're going to look to be more kill hungry. This is a level 3 Night Stalker with a haste rune. Still without wings though, so he's kind of looking very funny here at nighttime.
They're coming in towards mid. He has the silence. He's got a 1-1-1 build, so they can get the silence at FM, but already the leap.
Very
But
quick
get him
reaction.
away. Saw that Splinter Blast flying through the trees at him and just leaps away quickly.
Ghost takes level 4, by the way. This is the lane I want to have a little bit of a look at because offlane Venomancer is pretty unusual. It has been played a couple of times, but to me this...
Might look at a little bit later. Bottom lane, Maposhka and Resolution, they're surrounding around. Go for the easier kill. That will be Maposhka. The stun being thrown onto the melee creeps. It actually hits the eye, but it's still going to be the death of Maposhka. Actually, at the hands of Zai as well. So, Venomancer.
Another good start for EG, similar to the last game. Guess his mouse disconnected again here, Fred? Mouse? Yep, okay.
Stop throwing him.
So, okay, this gives us a little bit of time to talk about the Venomancer. When you're playing core Veno, I think some of the big levels to keep an eye out for is level 3, when you get the 2 in Plague Wards, if that's the build you go for. It's generally every point in Plague Ward, apart from level 1, changes the hero a lot. Ghostic, if he feels like he has a hard time top, he can just go jungle. He can jungle all of his camps, even including the Ancients when he hits level 5. You can farm in those Ancient camps. Probably want to leave them for Sven, though. And in addition to that, the sustained harass that he has against this Terrorblade, if they bring up some additional help, RTZ can be threatened a lot. Speaking of threatening, bottom lane, once again, Zai is in a very good position.
He's trying to wrap around the back, but as Nature's Prophet just found out, you want to sprout Resolution, he's still got the Quelling Blade. He can still cut 3. And with Nyx Assassin with a 1-1-1 build, sitting behind Resolution plus Maposhka, it doesn't really look like they're looking for any kind of engagement.
They're going to try for mid again, it looks like. EG.
Yep.
Oh. FN is
yeah,
he has the shrine. He has the shrine. He should be okay here because TP at
Regeneration's good. There goes your TP, and there's no other stun. The Void was already used from Zai. Meanwhile, Universe dies on the bottom lane. That rotation to mid forced EG to take their reinforcements off that lane. Roger, perfect there at the right time with Maposhka to get the kill.
Universe has been doing a good job to not die before this. This lane, in my opinion, is very difficult for Nature's Prophet to deal with. Just the sheer kill potential.
He's going mid now. So, okay.
Get some push going.
You die, hit into the tier 1 tower at mid. FN has been having a harder time. And Sumail is Dream Coil and double damager, and he would love it if Empire engaged into him.
He's ready to fight. Night Stalker is a little bit far away though. He's looking for an opportunity top. Zai does have stick charges. He's going to get spotted by Plague Ward. Very nicely placed here from Ghostic. And he will close in on his level 6. This offlane Veno is getting a lot of space.
This is a dangerous thing to do. An on-flame, like a safe lane Veno is normally trouble enough. It's that very quick levels. We even saw the hand of Midas Venomancer earlier today. But with Venomancer, once you hit level 10, your experience just comes so quickly with that plus 30% gain.
That looks like he's planning to go treads into Force Staff. Force Staff is a very, very good item against both the Puck and the Terrorblade. Simply need to create distance between yourself and these targets. EG. Bottom lane crit. Could get scary here.
Radiant structures
Standing back behind his tower, but Roger will clip him off.
And there's
Don't
no
think this
Arctic
is what he's
Burn.
going for.
They're way too deep for this. EG not going to force a rotation. Right now, they're still using that double damage rune of Sumail to bring down the tier 1 tower. So looking for a trade-off. Arteezy tricking Metamorphosis once more, so he's beating the tier 1 tower on the top lane. So a lot of tier 1 tower trade-offs. Empire try and take the bottom. Arteezy forced to fight Ghostic. I say forced, he's actually quite willing to do so. Dropping the Venomancer down, but he has a shrine he can utilize. Oh, Vaposhka can't get out in time. Sumail wanted to go and join that fight, but he got hit by an arrow from FN in the mid lane.
Radiant's top tower is under
It's going to be the
attack.
phase boots completed for Zai. Unfortunately for him, it's at the end of the night time. This is the #1 prioritized item that we see Night Stalkers get in this patch. More or less just rushing it, maybe a magic stick or a range off in between, but that is the go-to. Just helps a lot with being able to cover distance with Hunter in the night. It makes you a bit more useful at daytime. You don't feel completely useless. Getting that extra damage in is very nice with the attack speed you get from Hunter in the night at nighttime. Is such an extreme value point. 45 attack speed from that makes the phase boots hit really hard.
Top tower is
But
under
now
attack.
it's day, so Night Stalker has to chill for a bit. Might see Zai take a lane, get some levels, or go pull, while the pressure keeps being put on from both sides. So Arteezy's having a great start this game on the Terrorblade, that's worth mentioning. He will be getting very farmed, but was forced back to base here by Ghostic, so that consistent harassment is starting to play a role in limiting Arteezy's farm.
Well, he's had to burn so much mana to stay up on that top lane.
Yeah.
It's the harassment is pushing in towards the tower, so there was a time he just had to retreat. But we'll regen up, TP back up to the top lane, and then it's a rinse and repeat. In 35 seconds, he'll assault the tier 1 tower, and more than likely this time he'll kill it if Empire can't stop him.
I don't think they're going to let him, though. I think they want to fight for that tower and maybe sacrifice their bottom. This bottom tower will be hard for them to defend against this these Treant scouting. The potential rotation of the puck is excellent for fights in that area of the map. But we'll see. For now, it's just Universe starting to push down this bottom lane, and there's no real contesting from Empire. It doesn't look like they're just going to sacrifice this completely. All of them are moving away. EG with a good ward at the shrine. We'll see the AA conceding this area, and should mean Empire are going to cross the map and try to do the same thing on the top.
Everyone's seeing everything. Everyone can make really good choices. Even the Observer Ward watching Arteezy farm. And allow the Nyx Assassin to understand exactly what he can get away with, and allow Ghostic to start pressuring into that tier 1 tower. Send an illusion in, just drag the creep wave off. Arteezy is not giving the opportunity for Empire to really attack in. Instead, they're trying to force the rotations, having Universe beat into the tier 1 tower on bottom. FN's Invis Rune might help them turn this fight around. But then again, there's only one of them here. There's no other help. Resolution's farming up in the small triangle jungle of Empire.
Dire's top tower is under
You got a big
Radiant's
stack there.
bottom tower.
Bullseye. Bullseye. There's your void. He hasn't finished the job. FN had to leap himself away. Universe going to stay on the run. Crit trying to get in front of him as well. He's got Splinter Blast off cooldown right now. Doesn't have anything to really bounce it off. And FN with 8-1 charges decides it's not worth it. Zai, get the hell out of there. Face boots and around the trees. Under sub 100 HP. Night Stalker retreating from the fight.
And there we go with the tower trade. So top tower goes to Ghostic. Still working on that Force Staff. He's halfway. Sumail will pick up the Veil here, so a lot of damage is now available for EG. Might want to look for a fight, but as was pointed out by Tomato, this Nyx Assassin is a dangerous matchup when now that Roger gets his level 6, he's actually immediately going to TP bottom and use his Vendetta. He's going to look for a kill straight away on this Nature's Prophet, who, by the way, also has a bad matchup against Nyx.
But a perfect time to TP out. So
Great read.
bad matchup, easy if you have that mobility that comes from the TPs, be it from his scroll or his natural ability. And he's going for Orchid first after the drums phase boots. So looking for a straight up silence. Who do you think that's actually meant to focus on? Is it the Venomancer control?
It's good against multiple heroes in this game. I think targeted silences are very difficult to deal with for Nyx. They have Night Stalker and the Orchid then, and even the Puck Silence to work with. Orchid against Mirana is outstanding. And like you said, Venomancer. If they can prevent Veno from getting spells off in the fight, they've already come a long way in terms of having the advantage. So
EG.
next smoke movement, still no level
They're looking
6
for
on the
resolution.
grid.
They really want to kill on resolution. That Dire Observe Ward has already revealed the fact that he's farming up the Ancients. So Puck will come in first. They need a quick silence on him. And, well, not actually happening. He'll get the Stormbolt onto the crit. And it may be enough damage. The Dream Call actually grabbing Ghostic. Wrath of Nature bouncing through from Nature's Prophet. Gave them that little bit of extra damage and Universe the kill. But EG are happy with what they got. They're getting the hell out of there. Keep resolution down.
Radiant structures
Key kill.
fortified.
Roger. If he can get this done, he can synergize with that. Actually, FN doesn't have arrow. It's 3 seconds before it comes back off cooldown.
Radiant's tower has fallen.
But he's watching Zai very closely. Through the trees, the stun will connect. Here comes your arrow. It'll only be a 2-second stun. But 2 seconds may be enough. Stick charge is available. Night Stalker cannot get up into the air and away.
Pretty unconventional build from Roger here, by the way. Well, maybe not so much, actually, but it looks like he went 2-1-2. I like this build a lot over the 3-1-1 just because of the Spike Carapace ability to set up your Impale. Maybe this is becoming more standard, but at least looking back over the last couple of weeks, we've been seeing a lot more focus on the Impale. But the second point Carapace makes that stun 1.2, and that is enough to get off the Impale. Against heroes like Puck, that's really important, because then you can coil, or you can Carapace the orb and then get your stun off guaranteed. It's also great against other heroes in this game, such as the Wyvern. The Splinter Blast can target you, and then you can counterplay that way. There's many ways of using Carapace in this game. He's actually going to max it out. He's going 2-1-3. This is when it's weird. Now it's really unusual.
Plus 0.6 seconds is what he's looking for.
Yep. Lower cooldown as well. It's
5 seconds lower.
This spell scales incredibly well. But so does Impale. And you know, a lot of the time you want to have that damage. But this control of Carapace can definitely be very powerful.
Well, right now, again, he's looking for a target under the cover of Vendetta. Nothing really offering itself as Resolution. Farming still underneath that Dire Observer wall. They didn't realize that gank was because EG had vision. Until now. Sentry Ward gets planted down. Maposhka, even just putting it a little bit further north so he's able to check out the Ancient Camp. The rest of Empire putting their attention towards the mid-tier 1. And support's coming in. Wyvern will arrive. Splinter Blast is a great D-pusher. And FN doesn't want to stick around for that. So is the Orb. Very difficult to push into the EG towers when EG are prepared.
Radiant's bottom tower.
This Terrorblade game really fun. Arteezy's having a great start so far. Pretty much uncontested farm. 156 CS, minute 14. So currently at about 11 CS a minute. We'll get a 15-minute Manta style for his efforts. And I think in this game he also has a better core matchup. It's not perfect. I think there are problems. Again, Farm Sven can mess with Terrorblade quite well, and there's some decent AoE damage, but it doesn't feel like that last PL game just seems like semi-hopeless at times. Arteezy can definitely play a big game here. And it's interesting to see that this is in some ways similar to what Liquid ended up doing on when their backs were against the wall, where they had Miracle farm a troll for what seemed like an eternity, and then he really started carrying in that game. Maybe EG have decided to just adopt that style here.
It's going to be difficult for him. Like, farm him up, but Resolution's also taking that very greedy farm build again. Oh, it's like very greedy. Like, just more orientated towards an Echo Saver plus Mask of Madness. He's rinsing and repeating from game 1. It worked, but Arteezy definitely has a better start than game 1. And with the Observer Ward and Sentry down, they're trying to contest as much of the Ancients as possible.
I came in a little bit late, and Roger was also in a good position. You saw him use the Spike Carapace there in anticipation of the orb from Sumail. Didn't come out, however.
Sumail's now going to have to commit his orb to the mid lane to hold it off. Arteezy creates a couple of illusions, and then we'll look towards the bottom lane with Metamorphosis available. There should be a tier 2 tower to be taken. The trade-off is FN doing damage to the top tier 2 tower, getting space as well. Diag quickly scanning, wondering if anybody is coming in behind the mid lane. Not happening. The fortification is burnt, and this tier 2 tower is lost. And so is a lot of the access to Team Empire's jungle, losing both the towers on the bottom as well as the one in the mid.
Terrorblade looks so terrifying sometimes.
Roger.
Yep.
He just wanted to interfere with Arteezy's movement universe. Maybe he's able to get a control. Zayas moving forward. There goes your first controller. He doesn't have Invis, but the Spike Carapace can't complete the TP, however. 4 heroes from EG come in, and maybe now Arteezy, he's got a little bit longer with that Metamorphosis, and the army of Treants, they can push in heavier.
This is a good Ice Blast, though.
He's right there. The Ice Blast is a big radius, connects on 2 of the heroes. In fact, 3 with the chill on Arteezy. They're backing up. Sven's coming in. Resolution. Universe going to try and block him out with the trees. Resolution will have to run around. Arteezy needs some distance, but he's still got that Sunder. Level up and available. Looks to use it. Dropping Ghostic down low. Crit. He's got the curse up as well. So they have counter team fight. And they're coated. Venomancer. Real issues. The Splinter Blast bounces through the arrow and hits on the crit. He's dying to the poison sting in the trees. But Sumail jumps into the fight as well. Let the Dream Call go. Resolution FN locked in with the Ice Blast back up again. Sumail has to evade the damage as long as he possibly can, but he can't evade it for that long. FN already on top of him. So EG, some chip damage to the tier 3 tower, losing a couple of heroes. Is it worth it?
I don't think so. That looked like a good jump from Sumail, but nobody was there to take advantage of the coil. Arteezy was already way out of there. the Wyvern had used his spells and got arrowed. And then you're looking at Night Stalker, doesn't really want a team fight, you know, as we've talked about multiple times, not really a team fight hero. And Nature's Prophet had already used his ulti, so it's cool and all that you go in with the puck like this, but where's the follow-up damage? It's just not there. And then Nyx Assassin Carapace. You know what? It sucks playing puck against this hero. It really sucks. But they chose it willingly. They knew that Nyx Assassin was in the pool when they grabbed it, and Empire were pretty quick to respond with this Nyx of Roger. He's been having a good game so far. But even though that didn't go too well for EG on the base siege, they still got the 2-2. Arteezy survived again. He's getting very farmed, but Rezo is once again, as you said, catching up. The Sven is actually only 400 net worth behind this Terrorblade now.
Yep. But the Terrorblade finally increases his attack range, finishing up the Dragonlance, and that is going to be the big thing. We understand Skadi comes in later for the Terrorblade, and you can start to kite the Sven out. That'll probably be the next thing we can look towards. How does Team Empire, with all of this net worth, actually turn that net worth into damage which is inflicted into EG? What are the problems they're going to have in the team fights?
Yeah, there's a lot of things to keep in mind for both teams when they go into these fights.
Resolution, blink, stun, Ice Blast. Okay, that Ice Blast doesn't even arrive. Resolution committed God Strength. With Mask of Madness and Echo Saber, not a chance to survive for Crit.
This is one of those relatively unimportant kills. Like, Crit gets killed, he tried to push out the wave, he gets jumped by 2 heroes, one of them uses, or they both use their ultimates, but there's no building damage.
They run towards mid.
Okay, maybe if it transitions into...
You still got the God Strength, he phase shifts, the arrow won't connect, the dust is over on the next assassin, so they have the vision. Silence also returned. Roger, the Spike Carapace makes it impossible for Samel to get back down the hill as he hit him with that illusionary orb. But Arteezy's coming in, sending illusions to scout around the northern side.
And they're gonna hold their tower, so... All right here for EG. Now the question is this going to be a repeat of game number 1? EG have a good early game, their lanes are going pretty well, they have the farm on a couple of heroes. This is when they need to come up big compared to the first game. But you look at the team fight of Empire and it just looks like taking fights for EG is going to be really difficult. They don't have the same kind of team fight prowess, so maybe what you're looking towards is combining your Night Stalker and Nature's Prophet to find kills, but it just seems like they've fallen off a little bit. Their peak is early on into the game, and those moves just didn't really exist for them.
You're still waiting for that big item to arrive for Nature's Prophet. Like, he has the phase boots and drums, but there was no increase of damage that comes from something like a Maelstrom. He's still trying to complete up that Orchid of the Malevolence. Now, this is an easier thing to find. The Venomancer actually being pushed forward. Dreamcall cancelling his TP. And completely surrounded on the north side. That was his own Force Staff, trying to get further away from the Night Stalker to do his TP, but into the arms of the rest of EG.
Kill going to Arteezy, so he takes first place on net worth again. What else we got coming up? So Manta just got completed by the Mirana just a minute ago. The Terrorblade is building in toward Kite late soon. We have both teams trying to build Solar Crest. Venomancer has the Medallion. Zai is close to his Medallion.
Oh, they found Maposhka. Ancient Apparition on the run away from Zai. Extra support comes in. The Ice Blast is nice. Zai gonna get cold feeded, but they have enough life to survive. It is only a level 1 Ice Blast on the Ancient Apparition.
EG look like they're having a better time making moves. This Night Stalker is contributing a lot. Zai has set up 8 out of 9 kills for his team. Constantly roaming around, gathering information. Still without wings. What does it look like when he flies? Has he flown yet this game?
It looks...
It's like just flailing in the air, like flapping?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
It's when he realizes he didn't skip arm day. His arms just let him beat the wind into submission.
I feel like the hero should just look like this.
Just clipped. I feel he'll be very less impressive with his Immortal. Spike Carapace stung Crystal with the Winter Wyvern. Getting hit up by that Spike Carapace once more. Every time unless that shard's out, it's just too much of a chance that's going to be reflected.
EG have done a very good job at not losing this mid tower. It's 21 minutes in. The top tower fell relatively early, but Empire haven't managed to take another structure just yet. Both towers for EG are low, so they will eventually be falling, but just delaying it this much has allowed Arteezy to get a lot of additional farm because they've kept the map control in their favor.
The same for Universe.
They're looking for something bottom here. Rezo would be a really big kill. He's hiding off on the sides, but Night Stalker will get eyes on him now.
Yep.
Could try to surround him from both sides.
He doesn't have his BKB yet, putting the urn on him, going to make it difficult to get away. Here comes Universe, gives the extra vision, plus the Orchid Silence onto Sven. The damage will be more than enough. Resolution will fall, 50 seconds on the sideline. Image was chasing Nyx Assassin, turns on the Spike Carapace. Zai, fancy footwork, and now dusting up. Nyx Assassin TPing out. Is there enough damage? There is when Samel arrives with the Rift. And that is a big opening. You've actually got the push. Metamorphosis up for a fair amount of time. The only thing which isn't working here for EG is the fact that Arteezy doesn't have a creep wave to push into the tier 3 tower to force a reaction from Empire.
He doesn't have any mana either, so he can't make any illusions anymore, and he's just gonna, you know, be happy with what he got. I believe he did get the kill on the Sven, which is another big influx of gold for the Terrorblade, overtaking him by a lot at this point.
Got 305 gold for that kill.
Still, though, similar to game number 1, it's not Empire with one farming core. It's not just this Sven that you're looking out for. FN is having another great game. He's really farmed 10 CS a minute, similar net worth to that of the Sven, and they're both way ahead of the puck. So a lot of pressure on this Terrorblade to deliver with all the space that Arteezy has been given. He needs to play a good game here later on, because when you look at their lineup, once again, the control of their lineup, the team fight is, I would say, inferior to that of Empire. So when push comes to shove and they need to go high ground, Arteezy needs to be big and he needs to not be out of position.
Well, here's the danger zone. We always said it was around the 25 to 20 minute mark for Evil Geniuses. We're smack bang plumb in the middle of that. And Empire smoking up. They were looking towards something. Originally, I think it was a gank on mid, but they turned their attention towards the Roche pit. No easy way for EG to scout that out right now, because Universe doesn't have any treants in the neighborhood. A Moonlight Shadow even being cast, and they are fine. Team Empire, they will take Roshan, not to mention EG Smoke. It just got broken. Roger is here into the cover. Moonlight Shadow gets a double stun into the double ice blast. This is exactly what EG didn't want. Samael is trapped. Where's the save? He blinks up off John. You'll have to protecting him. You'll John up Samael. He will survive and escape from Team Empire. But the damage is done. Roshan is still in the hands of Team Empire. Aegis the Immortal belongs to FN.
Very nice play from both sides in that situation. Roger setting up the beautiful two-hero stun, and Samael quick under pressure to get out of that situation. Needed to cast his spells in that exact sequence, in that exact way to get out of that. Does manage to survive. Still, as you said, the Aegis does go the way of Empire. And this is one of the benefits you have of Nyx Assassin. It's just that when you go for a play like that, you feel pretty comfortable. They didn't seem to hesitate for a moment there, Empire. They just run into the pit, Nyx is scouting outside. Okay, they're not coming here. We feel like, okay, they're not going to contest, and they just take it from 100 to 0 with no flinching at all.
Yep. It's also interesting too, the fact that EG, like, they did smoke up, the smoke broke, but there was no instant detection. This allowed the Nyx Assassin to set up for that double stun.
Yeah, Nightstalker actually had dust on him, but I think Zai wasn't confident that he... First of all, maybe that Nyx broke their smoke, and secondly, where he was at that point in time. Now he's got eyes on Zai.
Again.
This is a dead Nightstalker, Toby. He's very dead.
Ice Blast, Storm Bolt, and it is easy as slice.
He could have tried to fly, but two problems with that. It was daytime, and he lost his wings this patch. So, you know, what are you going to do?
I sense you having real issues with this. Universe doing Universe things,
one of my
pushing
favorite
down
heroes,
towards the
man.
bottom
What do you
lane.
want?
With a Splinter Blast, yeah, go by Yule Scepter.
Okay.
Crit is actually helping with the Splinter Blast, so Universe actually going to get some good momentum into the Tier 3 tower. The trade-off is still Empire taking the mid-Tier 2, but you can definitely see the idea here. Oh, wow, that TP, are you going to complete that one? Samael's coming in, the Yule Scepter stopping the Scepter from getting out there. They got that gem of True Sight over on the puck, but Samael, as quickly as he got it, he will lose it. It's now in the hands of Nyx Assassin, Evil Geniuses. 25 minutes. This is the dead zone for EG.
This is really bad news. Samael, it seemed like a little bit of disconnect in what they wanted to do. So Nature's Prophet had that good push going on bottom, but he didn't dare to go for the high ground push. And then at the same time, Samael is coming in trying to stop these TPs, but stopping those TPs is nice, but doesn't have that big of an impact when you already gave up on the push on the bottom lane. And now high ground time for Empire.
That Observer Ward on the bottom, it saw the fact that Arteezy wasn't in position with that Splinter Blast. They can keep their creep wave alive long enough. And the fact there's no puck, there's no Dream Core. The two counter pushes from EG that protect the high ground are lost. The attack damage on the tower is on 1 HP. Let your illusion attack it, that'll do the work. The catapult finishes the job, and TP's out. Resolution will be happy. Maposhka, the Void, it'll cancel off his TP as Zai hits the ground and kills off the Ancient Apparition.
Wow, he has 3 smokes as well. Oh, bonus
nice
kill
catch.
time.
Venomancer going down, that is a nice bonus.
They still lost that tier 3. EG are not happy right now with how this is going. Like these last couple of minutes have been very bad for them. They know the Aegis is still on the side of Empire sitting on that Mirana, who, by the way, is getting really, really farmed. So here we go. There's the Yule Scepter, and I believe the coil is going to come out now, but the stun from Nyx even missing, but Sven made so hard. So Samael has used all of his cooldowns. That defensive Yule, not available when you use it aggressively, phases on cooldown. and does not look too happy with himself in that moment. Definitely not the best play in that situation coming out.
They definitely needed more numbers if he was going to go for that. Right now, they have the numbers against the Nyx Assassin getting caught. Here comes Aegis Prophet, as well the Silence TP won't complete. So the Gem of True Sight
Oh, he gave it back. That
actually just gave it back.
That is very important for EG. So that's the best. I mean, debatable. Maybe it's a better kill than a core. Like, this gem is really, really important. You don't want EG in the same position as last game where they lose complete control of the map and don't dare to go out. At least they have better split push this game, arguably, with the Nature's Prophet and the Terrorblade illusions to try to get the waves out. But still, in some ways, it seems like we're watching the same archetype of game play out here. And EG need to make sure the same mistakes don't happen again.
Zven getting bigger and having no easy, quick answer to him. There is more answers in this game for Evil Geniuses. And as long as they can keep that vision up, like that's probably the bigger difference between Game 1 and Game 2. Now they have this Gem of True Sight back. They get rid of both the aggressive Observer wards from Team Empire. Team Empire now have no wards on the map. The only one they have is in the stock of the Ancient Apparition with 4 sentries. So might be a good idea to see where that Observer ward goes down, just so we can see the mentality of Team Empire. Do they hold back? Do they wait this off? Aegis the Immortal's going to get reclaimed, so in 3 minutes' time, Roshan could spawn up for the teams. This may be the next attention point for both sides. Continue to farm up. Empire will still be happy as long as Resolution continues to get bigger and bigger, and Ghosty gets more and more space as well. That experience per minute, let it rack.
Can't forget about the Mirana, man.
You really can't.
FN is farm, man. He's got 15,000 net worth. He is currently sitting at 3,000 ahead of the Nature's Prophet and the Puck, who are of course ahead of that Venno, but I would say this Mirana net worth can become very, very strong later on. This hero scales pretty well, gets a damage talent level 20, has high agility gain.
He was the unsung hero of Game 1 on that Ember Spirit, and now EG, maybe they do something about him. FN farming up the Ancients, EG have no vision of that high ground. Crit putting down the sentry wall, they see the Observer, and then they get a glimpse of FN for a moment, but Samael just used his orb to help push out the mid lane, and the rest of Empire are converging on the position. They're even going to Moonlight Shadow, but thanks to the Observer and Sentry Ward, they still actually don't see anything. They're smoked up as well as Moonlight Shadowed. Double the layer of protection for Team Empire.
The only hero Roger doesn't want to run into right now is the Puck. He has the gem. Anyone else is a kill.
Well, they found Crit, or maybe they've found Crit. Zai's down here as well. Sentry Ward placed, no Observer Ward. That smoke still hasn't broken yet. Maposhka's so close to it, but it's at the end of the smoke time, so they won't realize that smoke broke because of them. Crit lets off the Splinter Blast, and there's your first stun. Zai, he's running as quickly as he can. The arrow flies forward from FN, it won't hit the target. Zai, keep running without wings, he's more aerodynamic. Moving up and over the hill, Ice Blast won't be able to catch him. Zai, keep on running. Run, Zai, run! Roger. Can't catch him. Ghostic, at least the Plague Lord is down, and he is away. He's going to make it back to the dire side of the river after running from the Tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
I wonder if this is how the first people envisioned flying would be. You know, you just flap your arms. You know, oh, okay. Works well. All right, Zai gets out of there. Empire could have probably got 2 kills there if they weren't so hungry to go for the Wyvern. Both of them made the jump at the same time. They committed both stuns onto Crit, and Zai is happy and lucky to survive in that moment. And maybe EG now, they're converging. 4 of them are grouped up, but they don't want to smoke. They actually don't have one anymore.
But they have a double damage in the bottle of Arteezy.
He's
so
ready to fight.
Yeah,
Butterfly.
he really, really wants to.
This is a very strong Terrorblade, but still no BKB, and that means he's susceptible to this magic damage, and they have no save against that. They only have the Cold Embrace, no Glimmer Cape yet, I believe. Wyvern doesn't have it, he's building toward it. Zai is going for a Heaven's Halberd this time around against the Sven, an item that they were definitely missing in that previous game.
Roshan
to control.
Think about the time, man.
Solution. Yep.
3 seconds until it could potentially be up.
And we got ourselves a slightly above average spawn.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock.
Actually, a decent amount above average.
I wonder exactly what the average spawn time is. I don't have those stats available.
I can tell you by power of maths that it should be something about 9.5 minutes, Toby, because the spawn time is between 8 and 11.
Do we want to flip a coin? Did your math skills just get applauded?
If that's impressive, then we got ourselves some NA math in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, a Danish education right there. All right, so Roshan, obviously EG can keep their eyes on it. The arrows have been thrown out from Mirana. That'll allow FN to scout out the pit too. As both teams, they can look to try and hold this. The only downside for Team Empire is their fastest pusher in the lane is still going to be this man, and he needs to come down and push the lane now. With the +4 triggers being summoned by Universe, he does get a lot of push whenever he summons the trees as he comes to the lane, and he will keep the split push going. So we have to look towards the BTs. Hilariously enough, no one from Empire actually has BTs. It's always going to be the TP scroll.
Yeah, BOTs are item. It's an item that you might want to get on the Mirana next after this.
Oh, Ghostic. He's going to walk in. A quick push out with his 4-staff, and they commit the Moonlight Shadow.
That's another smoke from EG that doesn't really bear fruit. The last one, did they get a kill with their last smoke? I don't even remember.
Seems like an eternity ago. Math has clouded our judgment.
They've got a pretty good amount of vision in this game, like you pointed out. The feel of the game is different. This time, we're getting further into the game, and it doesn't seem like EG in the same way are losing out on the gold grab. It's more or less stabilized. Experience favoring Empire a little bit. That's the Veno talent. I would attribute a lot of that to. But EG still, they're looking better. I notice still that X factor that we've seen from EG in the past just doesn't really seem to be there in the same force in the series.
They have one way of doing it, and that's the Universe factor. It's the split push factor.
Yep.
We did see him in previous series and previous games during TI7 looking for that side of the push off, making the enemy wonder if they can go for the trade. And with that lack of maneuverability without the BTs in Empire, they do have to commit to the fight. This is their problem. There's a big army of trees pushing the bottom lane. They smoke up, looking for the fight. Roshan is now back up. At least because they brought down that tier 3 tower in the middle, they can get rid of the shrine, so EG can't bring reinforcements to Roshan. But the attack, they found the opening. It's over on Puck. Cold Embrace protecting him. It wears off in Resolution. A quick kill. The Gem of True Sight hit the deck. It's now in the hands of Roger. But the push is still coming in on bottom lanes. They want to go for Roshan for the push to the tier 2 tower up on top. How hard do you want to commit to this Team Empire?
They can kill this Roche really fast. They didn't use Gaussian for the kill. So look at this. This is like a 10-second Roche kill. Somebody needs to go back to base though. This is the last March of the Ents happening at bottom right now. Sorry for the spoilers. We have some Lord of Rings.
Venomancer will have to do it. I almost want to see him commit his Nova to try and defend it. Because the tier 3 tower is dying. Gale won't be enough. And you're seeing it fall. They have to fortify to defend against these Treants. Meanwhile, Universe TP's over, finding Maposhka, walking up. He was looking for an aggressive Observer Ward. So Universe finding a kill and bringing that tier 3 tower almost to its needs at 137 HP.
I'm really wondering, this game is obviously super big for both teams. It secures Empire the progression into the next round in the top 8, and for EG it gives them that third game. And you feel like all EG needs at this point is just that little bit of momentum that I was worried for Liquid as well after that game 1 against Secret. They got destroyed, and then they found their footing and clawed themselves back into game 2, and game 3 looked very nice from them. I feel like we can see a similar tendency from EG, but they need to find that opening in this game where you just feel like, okay, now EG has this game. And that moment hasn't really occurred for, well, 20 minutes once again.
Yep.
They're finding these small picks. They get a kill on the push. Okay, it's nice, but Empire get the Roshans. Empire get the TI3, the tier 3. TI3 went to Alliance. Spoilers, sorry if you didn't see the International 3. But the shrines as well. Empire are going to take the bottom shrine out. No, Resolution forgot it exists. Actually, he's running in circles around it. You can attack this building. There we go.
He's worried about revealing his position.
Yeah, of course.
Is the only thing. And EG.
Bottom tier 1's going to fall as well. Empire, again, progressing on the map. They're getting something done. Actually, now they're hesitating a little bit.
It's the team fight they're worried about. They're worried about getting cursed up. They're worried about Arteezy actually having an influence. Now, you did get a counter against that. The Monkey King bar got picked up by Resolution. He has the double damage rune as he solo TPs up to the top, going for the kill! Shredded apart! A man with a sword is all you need for Team Empire.
I just saw Mirana destroy a tower in 10 seconds as well. It's got to worry you if you're EG, man. You're seeing this progress of these cores. Do you feel like you're keeping up?
You feel like you're staying in it, probably more.
This is the problem with Puck. If you're picking Puck and you're not finding fights and you don't go Midas, this hero has this downfall, and then on level 25 you pick it back up again. But Sumail is really far away.
Where's
He
that
didn't go by
detection?
this, and the fights didn't go their way.
Next, the spike
Yeah.
carapace is up. That'll actually get the stun because they did dust him up. A quick Yule scepter up and towards the air. Moonlight Shadow will now protect him. Where is your secondary detection? Dream Court from Sumail. Woofs. In the jungle, the arrows flying forward and support is arriving from Team Empire. FN with that leap up. He's looking for a fight. He's got the Aegis Immortal. He really wants a fight. Even the Monkey King bar ready to attack into Arteezy. But EG retreat home. They did not get the opening they wanted.
Good disengage. That could have been a lane of Rax if they got caught off. I think no buyback on the Night Stalker. Puck and the Terrorblade both have it. No buyback on crits.
This is
Wyvern
great though
there.
for Empire. There's no pressure coming in on their
Oh, the
start lane.
Carapace! They get
It's a
the arrow!
perfect spike Carapace into an arrow. The 4-staff out. Crib will survive. The Ice Blast doesn't connect. Instead it's the Mirana who has to Manta Style out of the Bloodthorn and escape away. The tier 3 tower chipped but not killed. And already Universe knows what his job is. TP to bottom lane. Realize
Yeah.
it's still only the Orc, and he hasn't finished the Bloodthorn, holding onto that buyback money.
The split push game really seems like the only thing that EG can really pull off at this time. The 5-man fights are maybe possible when Nature's Prophet and Puck are starting to have big enough items, but for now, this Mirana and Sven combo is just stronger than this core combo of EG. It's the nature of the heroes if they don't find the type of game they want. So Universe needs to get big. Bloodthorn is coming in close. He could actually buy it, but doesn't have buyback, so he's holding on to that. Glimmer Cape still not up for Wyvern. Looks like Crit is changing his mind and going for a 4-staff himself instead.
Defensive wards are up, the arrow flies forward, Crit. Standing still is how you dodge arrows.
Arteezy. Ice
This is
Blast.
problematic. The Ice Blast is perfect. Spike Carapace doing the work, but Sumail into the back lines, killing up the Poshka. They need more control.
They're losing
more
Rax,
damage.
Toby.
The Venomancer, he may go down. You are right. The mid lane's been taken out by the Mirana. She's moving up towards the top tier 3 tower. The mid melee is gone. So the fight is split up. Universe standing his ground against Ghosting. Ghosting, he's still trapped inside the trees. Finally able to push himself away, but on the top lane, that's where the defense is. FN did the damage. It's the trade-off game. It was meant to be EG with the Prophet causing that, but now it's Resolution, the manliest of all, killing off the Vampire of Night Stalker.
And the gem is back the other way again.
Hot potato.
So Mirana got the melee racks and almost a tier 3 tower top.
Tier 3 tower bottom. The Gale that pulled him off. It's on 31 HP. Ghostic barely was able to take the aggro of the Dark Creep way back.
That's pretty important to hold on to.
FN's back in top.
Yep.
Crit doesn't have Curse. Sumail. She had Blink Silence, but it's too late, especially up against a Manta.
Bit of chip damage there from Event. He's almost 25. I'm curious to see if he goes for the Leap Talent or the Triple Arrow. We used to see core Miranas. Actually, we're going to have a replay here. So there's the stun on Arteezy. Get the Ice Blast coming in, but he does get the BKB off here. Good timing on that. Avoids the explosion damage and is able to turn around and go fight. Meantime,
It's such a
Mirana
hard
is
fight
dead.
when you got no mana.
Prize is mine.
Like, he starts this fight with only
That
100
cheese.
mana.
So clutch from Ghostic, and he will survive in the end of this. He survived, right? He man fights Universe and survives this?
Yeah, he gets out with the 4-staff. He gets just out of the range of the trees
Yeah.
in time. So a lucky duck.
And then it's like, damn, I only got 1 Rax.
Universe is going to get the hell out of here, like right now. Ancient Apparition as well as the Venomancer coming in. He goes invis, no detection.
That was a sentry on Mikoshka, but he doesn't have any way of breaking the TP, nor does the Venom, so Universe will get out of there. But as it stands, Empire are once again controlling the map.
Resolution.
They're able to take Roche.
Crit, he's just looking at it. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's not easy to play against Sven as a position 5 with 2,000 at this
He
stage.
said you love
Yeah.
crits.
You-
That's not even
yeah.
that's not even a crit. That's
I
just
love it when they're
raw
not on me.
damage.
That's the best thing, as long as it's someone else.
That's
So,
such a team player.
So Mirana did go for the triple arrow. In the past, we used to see Leap attack speed all the time, but since Leap got changed to only a 5-second duration instead of 10, players are opting way more for the Sacred Arrow. If you get any core arrow connection, or especially if you're lucky enough to get 2, that has a tendency of ending games, and this Leap duration is not deemed to be valuable enough.
FN was already able to
5 seconds.
force out fortification of Team Empire. He just came up the ramp, attacked it a couple of times with his Mantra illusions, and that's enough for for EG to fortify. Very problematic. Empire, their team fight's getting better and better. The Aghanim Scepter is on the Venomancer. They got protection from his 4-staff and that Lotus Orb on him. Rogers seems to just be finding everyone whenever he needs to, and the sustain on both FN as well as Resolution is just intense. These pickoffs will help you come back, especially the solo pickoffs with Sumail. It's levels to get to 420. He needs that level 25 talent. And the Radiant Courier sniped by Universe. Every little bit counts.
Yeah, this adds up. This actually gives EG some pretty important information. Sumail got 450 gold for killing the AA.
Are they
This
coming
should
for
give them an
resolution?
idea of the gold graph of the game.
Arteezy going into a fight once more with only 480 mana. He does have the double dash.
Carapace.
Skadi gets by Carapace, sets over on Sumail.
Oh, he
and
mistimed
the
it.
curse is out for crit at the moment, holding Nyx Assassin in position. Arrow flies forward, resolution. Oh, come on. Has crit not been through enough? Here comes Arteezy looking for the damage. He has the DD room, but resolution just has himself. He cleans up the rest of Arteezy. Zai trying to focus onto that Mirana. Support is here from Arteezy, but resolution already has the double kill further to the south.
Arteezy's in trouble now.
Kill the Nyx Assassin, but Arteezy survives. The Ice Blast is going to connect. The Stormbolt held on their universe. Space created with the Sprout. Arteezy, does he actually bomb? Nothing will reach him. Sumail gets a double kill, taking out the FN spree. And Resolution has to stand here under the Dream Coil. EG are still 2 men down. They have to retreat back.
That's a game-saving Sprout. Arteezy was 100% dead there without that Sprout from Universe, and he didn't have buyback.
Run Courier. It managed to pick up the gem which was dropped on the deck. It still got the rest of the Skadi, which needs to be delivered to Arteezy. Courier currently having more value than net worth. If crit, he's got nothing. But the Skadi is up, and they needed that in the fight. They needed to kite resolution. He was free to do what he wanted, and we'll have another look at that fight.
It's just very important for EG that Sumail doesn't die here. Roger didn't have the vision to secure the stun. Crit dies, getting used to that. He's going to get jumped by Rezo every fight and just killed off. And Arteezy, see, this is an awkward situation because he doesn't know what the cooldown is on Sven's Lincoln, so he doesn't know if he can really go for a Sunder play or not. So now he's going to back off after trying to help out Zai a little bit. Now the Lincolns is ready again as Sven jumps in, and we're going to have a little look at FN leaning back. Apparently, I'm pretty sure those two things did not happen at the same time. His hero was still alive. And Universe is like,
Whoa.
you're welcome, Arteezy. We can still win TI.
Well, it's a long road to go. Even if they do win this game, that will still only force a third as Team Empire have that advantage. But Evil Geniuses, now they know that Roshan is up. They're getting more and more into their arsenal. The Aghanim Scepter is on Sumail. A big item, especially to help control up that BK beat resolution,
And
not allowing
25.
him to keep moving. This is what I was wondering about. Team Empire later on, you've got all this net worth, 27k of it, onto resolution. They're defending the towers at 6 HP. They refuse. Hold the line. But Roshan.
Ags on Puck is big. Nature's Prophet is closing in on Hex. There's the scan, though, from Radiant. They're
Nice.
not going to give up this Roche.
That's big for EG.
EG
They don't get
really
hit by
want
the
this.
Ice Blast, but just to make Arteezy's life better, he gets stunned up. The second he tries to go back into the pit, and Roger, Invis, Dream Claw, big catch from Sumail. They've already killed off Popochka. Can they get resolution? The cleave is going out, but it's only on a fake Arteezy. He'll make more of that, and maybe they have the slow. Resolution back to the tier 2 tower. Sumail's going in after it, and Ghosting, the ulti is nice. It's coding EG and jump, but resolution back to the safety of home. He's away. Ghosting may not be so lucky. Arteezy has the damage, he has the range, he has the power. And with a double catapult wave, they can bring down the tier 2 tower. But remember what they started. They came here for Roshan.
They could try to go for it. Their heroes are very low. Zai is low. Arteezy is half HP. The other two are faring pretty well. With Venomancer being dead, they might try to go for it. This is not a guaranteed Roshan, however. Sven can try to contest this.
Buyback's
together with
coming.
Mirana and the buyback of Veno. They
Arrows
want to get
flying
there.
forward. Universe gonna dodge it. It
Oh,
does
hit
hit
roll.
Arteezy. It hits Roshan, making life easier. And the science onto FN. Roger looking for a target. Spy Carapace being committed very early. Resolution will get the stun over on Zai, so he'll kill him to the north while the Yule Scepter sending that Nyx Assassin around. Hits the ground. Killed off quickly by the Bloodborne. FN still looking for another kill. Sumail gonna draw himself away, but that Malionia damage. EG, they have to retreat. They've already lost one. The stun is too big. Goodbye Arteezy. Buy back out from Zai. He's TPing the tier 3 tower. Long way to go, but Sumail goes in. The triple coil plus the silence, allowing Arteezy the space to get away. They'll all tank the stun, and they need to keep running, but resolution blinks forward. Ice Blast coming in. Arrow as well. It won't connect on any of the heroes. Crit even dodges it. Arteezy, he needs to live. He'll take the life away from Crit so they can survive. They're shrining up. Arteezy will make it, and the cut. It's on the Venomancer. EG, hold the line. 3 heroes gone. They're looking for more. Resolution. The Lincoln Sphere's being triggered, but he can still blink away. The damage didn't connect. The arrow from FN, however, it does on the side. He'll stand his ground. So Moonlight Shadow will allow Empire to retreat under the protection of invisibility, and the fight shall end.
Oh, at the last hour, EG are stepping up. They're playing these fights very, very well. Crit and Arteezy together. This is the keep Arteezy alive late game. First, the Furion saving him earlier, and this time he gets sundered by Crit, or rather the other way around, and Crit gets a really nice burst onto the Venom Uni.
Bottom lane, he's coming in, he TP's forward and lets the trees take the tier 3 tower. This opens up more options for him because now he can look towards the shrines. Resolution, consolation is he has a whole bunch of trees to kill.
And he's going to be able to get his refresher against...
Arteezy can't die here.
Oh,
Where's the ice
really
blast?
can't die, because it's a solo Nyx.
Literally.
You are right. Technically right, the best kind of right.
There was no support nearby. So the buybacks, still Night Stalker and Prof are going to have theirs on cooldown, so is Venomancer. So you'll probably see the teams just temper the pace of this game for the moment. You can look towards the next Roshan. That's a while off.
Gonna hit the shrine. Did the cheese get used in that fight as well by EG? I believe it did.
Not seeing it on any of the heroes, so I'm assuming it was.
Yep.
But now you've actually hit the 420 Sumail. This injection of money into him is allowing him to build into high levels of Dagon. So having the Veil of Discord and the Dagon pop, this is a lot of money, a lot of damage which is coming their way. Even if he just starts buying Moonshines for everyone at EG, it's still going to be useful.
He can one-shot the AA, which is very good. Or, for example, force the Mirana down to half HP before she BKBs. This combo, this 1-2 combo from Puck is very fast. Just Veil, Dagon, blink, and use your spells, and you kind of have to respond to the BKB pop if you're FN. So keep an eye out for Sumail to look for that jump, especially with the help of Zai. It shouldn't be too difficult with that Night Stalker Night Vision, but they will have most of the time. This is going to be a tense late game. This has the potential to go very late and also to end within a few minutes because both teams have such extremely powerful late game pushing heroes. The Sven can destroy barracks in no time. On the other side, you have Terrorblade and Nature's Prophet with their pushing prowess. Now Furion is going to get level 25. And it's going to be the remove teleport cooldown from Universe. So 100% split push focus. I guess his alternative was also 100% split push focus. So
this is just more enabling. More than anything else, just come into the fights, move out. Empire don't want to wait for it. They 4-man smoke up behind FN, who's pushing the mid lane in. This is the lane they had that momentum. This is the lane that FN already achieved victory on last time. Now, Evil Geniuses on the hill to the east of Empire. Will they wrap around? Roger will do it. Arteezy's the man, really getting initiated on the BKB is out, so is a Dream Call. Resolution has to stand his ground for the moment. The arrows fly forward, doesn't on any of EG. They want to fight. Arteezy has the range, but Venomancer has the ulti. Arteezy sunders up the damage. If he can't, actually can't regenerate, he may as well steal it. FN, they'll have the deep to bring him down. Universe beating through the Mirana, getting through the BKB. The crowd is unbelievable for Empire.
how did he live through that? FN gets, it's just one of those moments, oh, I'm sprouted, I'm just going to A-click ground and win a 1-on-3. Okay, that's probably not fair to say. That was not really 1-on-3, but it looked like it.
3 heroes down for Team Empire, for EG. How do they actually defend? Empire are taking the top lane of Rax. Sumail's looking at them, but the spy carapace up from the next assassin. He goes for the stun. Puck will fall. EG is all falling apart. Even if Sumail buys back, it won't save the lane of Rax. It's just Arteezy. He bought a refresher, so at least he has Metamorphosis and BKB back up again, but he needs friends. And Team Empire, are they going to stop at 2 lanes?
They will probably take this middle range barracks with Resolution and then call it a day for now.
Sumail, Dream Call over on 2, triggers already. The Linked Sphere on Resolution, Ancient Apparition got stunned up. And Maposhka being low, Resolution, he didn't burn the BKB, which may have been the desire of Sumail. But FN feeds into the tower, already the Reflect. FN wants to break free. He's able to do so. But here they go through bottom once more. Get rid of the illusions. God's strength up for Resolution. Takes the tier 3 tower attack. Crit, waiting on the lines. Arrows fly forward. It won't hit his mark. Roger, he'll hit his. It's a Terrorblade. The Ice Blast is coming in. Arteezy, he cannot die right now, or else this game is over from EG. The curse is on to FN. They'll return for the damage that's under from Arteezy. He gets his life back again. They still have the Shrine to work with. And maybe Resolution with no BKB. He can't escape. The stun is huge from Roger. Looking for the follow-up. He hits Arteezy, holding him there. FN's bringing in the damage. Sumail has to come back. Maybe with the Shrine they have their life, but they're losing the teammates. Night Stalker has fallen. FN's focused mixing the rack while Resolution focuses the Terrorblade. Arteezy the Team 4 towers. Samel back in again. Dreamcall is up, but where is the control? Arteezy is gone, and EG is a last-ditch defense. FM break free, but Samel's got the damage to kill him off. The buyback triple from Empire. They can smell it in the water, and as EG's blood, the rivers run blue, and evil geniuses, they're trapped inside their own fountain. Samel, the sole survivor at the moment, while Empire look to bring down the Team 4 towers to open up the shrine. Samel may have a triple kill. Ghosting lets it over freely fly. Resolution, there go the Team 4 towers. Puck taken out of the fight for the moment. It's going down 2,700. They find the weapon as well. It looks over for EG, and it is over. Team Empire will 2-0 out the former TI champions, taking them out in the second round of the lower bracket.
This tournament just keeps on giving, doesn't it? Full of surprises. Empire, I think very few people would have picked them to win this 2-0. Maybe some people thought they could win this game, but EG came in as favorites for sure. Resolution, bathing in the glory of the crowd, having the time of his life, maybe the second best time of his life. Maybe he will have the time of his life later this tournament if this keeps on going for Team Empire.
If they can keep the run going, sure, the next opponent will be Team Liquid, but Evil Geniuses, it's a bitter defeat. They're not the first team to experience this. OG stood in the same place, losing from that lower bracket matchup. Looking down and can't get the series. And this one's actually even a little bit worse. They couldn't get a win on the main stage. OG at least got one against MVP back in last TI. But this is heartbreaking for the EG fans.
Gotta commend Empire though, credit where it's due. I think they had the better draft in both games. I think they played their hearts out. They had a great read on EG's playstyle and on their movements. They were well prepared, came in with an idea, executed it well. Hats off to them. I think Empire after this series looks like a real contender to go far. Now they're top 8, as we talked about, or as the panel talked about previously, you know, like Pike had said with DC last year. Our goal was top 8, we made top 8.
Yep.
Everything beyond that was a bonus. We were just having a good time, playing our hearts out, trying our best to win. Got all the way to the finals. Who knows what Team Empire can accomplish this year.
They look so happy, and rightly so. Not only is it just it's not even a one-man show. Everyone did so well. Team Empire, they're coordinating everything. The stuns, the movement. These guys are pushed to late game time and time again, and they're showing as a unit they can make the right decisions. The decisions that push themselves forward into the lower bracket round 3 to keep their TI7 hopes alive. How far can they go? Is the question. EG. It's over for them.
Devastation for Evil Geniuses. What a Cinderella story for Team Empire, who at the 11th hour were worried that they would not have a 5th player. Resolution stepped in, and absolutely marvelous coordination throughout. EG was so close to stabilizing so many times. Fought their hearts out in the last match, but it wasn't enough. Falling 0-2, we now know that Team Empire will be advancing to fight Team Liquid tomorrow. That was a hell of a match, though.
That game was, that ending, that was intense. That was some crazy fight that towards the end where kind of like the TB got hit by A blast, he sunders, and then somehow ends up dying anyway. Potom survives with about 100 HP. That was some crazy stuff.
And even right before that very final moment, they had almost identical net worths on both teams, which is pretty rare in a game of that length.
So many crazy things happened in that game. I also thought that was like a really difficult game to play Sven. Like there's just so many things that they have to deal with, and they countered the Winter Wyvern in both games very well. Crit had 11 deaths in this game. I didn't particularly like the draft from them, most particularly the Winter Wyvern in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I mean, Tomato, you talked about the influence of Nyx in that game. Every time Nyx made a play, you brought it up backstage.
Yeah, he played pretty well, and he was getting so much vision and setting up kills with Asian Apparition. It was like a constant threat to EG. Like, Nyx was just running around pressing carpets and everyone died.
And I mean, I remember I had to step away briefly and came back and saw the net worth and said, oh, what happened in mid? You know, why is Puck so low on net worth? And you just went, Nyx, that's it. Just Nyx. Constant mana burns, constantly pounding down Smail. Pretty much every hero that Smail plays feels directly countered by Nyx.
And Empire has just been picking better and better and playing better and better. It no longer seems so resolution focused. FN did his share of lifting in both of these games.
That Mirana was beautiful. I mean, both of them going straight for the MKB to have insane damage output.
We were a bit skeptical of the triple arrows.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I mean, it worked out in the end. It was maybe not ultimately what won them the game, but I think the AA pick, the kind of early AA pick in both games, worked out really well for them. This we saw the hardcore position 5. Like he was poor on that AA. He was dirt poor, but he sent those ults, and he did his thing. And I mean, look at how they're playing as a team. It's really impressive to see, like, not just resolution. Of course, he is a huge factor in this, I'm sure. Not only his play, but maybe in terms of morale and kind of like lifting their spirits. But they are playing really well together.
And I know that for many people, this result means there's a lot of prediction brackets that don't make any sense anymore. So I want to get the sense from Purge a little bit about what it was that Team Empire was doing so well in that match.
Well, there's a lot of stuff. It was actually a very even game up from both sides, to be honest. And there was a very cool fight at about the 15-minute mark that I wanted to break down and talk about a little bit in case you guys are maybe a bit newer to Dota. Now, EG was pushing the tier 2 on the bot lane in a place where that gave them good advantage because Empire was positioned on the opposite side of the map to split push, but they didn't have the same pushing power. So EG taking that tower felt comfortable teleporting. Because Arteezy's stun was interrupted, that meant that Empire on the other side of the map felt comfortable to take the enemy tier 2, which is a great gold advantage, map advantage trade here. Unfortunately, they did lose their Nyx Assassin because of that, which basically put EG in the strategy mindset of, now we can go high ground with our TB ultimate and try to do some damage to the tower. We saw TP in from Mirana. He did end up taking some good damage, but crucially, this Ice Blast hit on a lot of EG heroes, which means if they get too low, they're going to end up going down. And then a little bit of a sneaky TP in here by the Venomancer was allowed him to land a Gale on Arteezy, giving him a really slow retreat. So now it's this, EG knows they have to fight. They're trying to do everything they can do to keep enemy heroes away from Terrorblade, like the Sven over here. Even Zai committing a slow as well as a silence. Finally, we see a Sunder as well from Arteezy. And now Crit's trying to move forward to use his Winter's Curse on Ghost Stick here, because if he does, it's going to catch anybody in this circle, and they will end up fighting Ghost Stick. So that's why Resolution is staying really high to the north, because he doesn't want to end up killing his ally. So every single team playing well around this. Crit now has to back out because he realized he's out of position. He does eventually get the Winter's Curse off. A very crucial arrow coming in to nail Crit, which ends up securing his kill. And now they're back on the chase on Empire because they had the great Winter's Curse. It's just a team fight so back and forward. Sumail as well grabbing a 3-man Dream Coil. Such an amazing play. But because of the Spike Carapace, he gets stunned. And even though EG felt like it was time for them to go back in, because he ends up getting stunned here, they throw out their spells and they end up killing Sumail on the way back. So this fight was just so intensely back and forth, and there were so many big implications. I mean, if EG just makes small edges here or there, they win this team fight. They could take a Rax at 15 minutes, but instead it ended up what we ended up seeing with EG losing.
I mean, Empire's just beautifully coordinated throughout all of this, and Empire, of course, has a huge path ahead of them to get to the finals, but are no doubt happy about this result. Before we get the chance to talk to Team Empire, we're going to head to Machine to have a conversation with Evil Genius's Zai.
Thank you so much, Day 9. Yes, indeed, the games get better, but my job does get harder, and I am joined now by Zai. So I think the question has to be, and the floor is yours, it's simply just going to be, what happened?
I think it's more along the lines that nothing much happened. Personally, I felt very timid when we played, like we had a lot to lose, and not playing to win, which probably Empire felt that they had a lot to prove. They played their hearts out. I didn't feel like I played that well in the same kind of way, so rough.
So from the start, do you think it was playing to lose, or was it more after game 1 that mindset set in?
I don't think it's
playing not to lose, excuse me.
I wouldn't say the same thing goes for the entire team. That's just what I felt. I don't know, honestly, we just didn't play well. For what reason, I'm not sure. It's hard to say now.
And for you now, is it just going to be a case of taking some time and kind of breaking that down a little later on down the line?
Probably. I mean, it's pretty tough to deal with. We probably disappointed a lot of people, a lot of fans that expected more of us, which doesn't feel great, and we also expect more from ourselves. So it's not a happy day.
Don't linger on the disappointment of the fans, because I know that they do still love you. I'm sure the Key Arena will remind you of that. Okay, Zai, I don't want to keep you much longer. One final opportunity to talk to the people at home, the people here in the arena, your fans, your family, whatever you want.
We appreciate you a lot, even though this TI wasn't our TI. We didn't perform like we had hoped to. We still appreciate that you came out to support us. And hopefully you'll continue supporting us in the future, and we'll hopefully have better results.
Ladies and gentlemen, man of no introductions, it is of course Zai of Evil Geniuses. One more time, let's make some noise.
Thank you, Machine, and thank you, Zai. 3 TIs in a row, Evil Geniuses in the top 3. And although unfortunately getting knocked out before top 8, EG has a loyal fan base, and of course this team always will have great outcomes in the future.
Yeah, I think so. It is very surprising to see them already. Like I was expecting them to go very far, but I can understand kind of what he's saying. It did look a bit like they weren't really playing to win. From my point of view at least, it's like Empire have that thing where they're hungry. They want to play. You know, they're coming there. They're ready to play EG. They know, like everyone kind of knows that EG is on paper they're a better team, and everyone kind of expects them. But Empire, they really want it. You know, today they definitely wanted it more than EG. And if that's the case, then at a tournament like this, it's not forgiving. You know, you lose this game, then.
I remember you commented on like the looks of the players going back into their booths.
Right. Yeah.
More?
Well, yeah. So sometimes I feel like after the first game, I saw on some of the EVG players' faces, like they just had this look of, I don't know how to put it, but it's like a look of someone who's not ready to show up and play. You know, it's not a hungry look. They looked a bit defeated. When I looked at Liquid earlier, for example, when they were playing, like they had lost game 1 or something, then they came back like in the second game, and you could see they were still all smiles, and they kind of turned it around, and it went well for them. But to me, it just looked like EG were kind of, the morale was very low.
TI, of course, known for its upsets. OG, a team that fell earlier, went on to accumulate 4 total majors under their belt. And of course, the team that is moving on to next round, Team Empire. We got Casey with Ghostic to talk a little bit about the incredible win they just pulled off.
Boy, you said it. Incredible win. Ghostic, you sat down and I asked you this question. You and I sat down for an interview 1 week ago. Was there any part of you at that time that thought, we're going to be sitting here talking about us beating EG in a week?
No way I were thinking about that. Like we were trying to find our game with a stand-in, with Rezo. We were struggling at that time, I mean. But now I think we're in a good point. Resolution helping us really well. He gives us all experience which he had previous TI, and I'm really happy that we managed to beat EG when no one believed in us, probably.
What do you want to say about EG and the way that they played here tonight? Because these were some really great games that we saw on the TI main stage.
Yeah, well, I think it was a bad day for them. They beat us in group stage without any chances. We were preparing for them really well before this match, and I think we just kind of outdrafted them, maybe somewhere outplayed, but just a bad day for them. Feel sad for them.
You mentioned Resolution. You added him last second.
Yeah.
A lot of teams that we're seeing here on the main stage have been practicing together, playing together, living together for months on end. You did not have that much time to come together. Why do you think you were able to become cohesive and make it work so far?
I don't know. He has really great experience. Like he can adapt to any play style, and we adapted to him kinda. We're finding our game. Like for 2 days of a group stage which we played, it was a tough days for us in a group stage. But after that, we reached a point where we're playing like a good team, and I think it's working really well for us.
We talked to Resolution yesterday, and I think between that and just watching your style of play, there's kind of a sense of carefreeness in the way that you're handling that. You don't seem to be feeling the pressure the way the other teams are. Not to say that you're not, but how is your approach to TI perhaps helping you battle that pressure?
Well, I feel pressure before the games, like before I go to the booth. Like, I don't know, and when the game starts, there is no pressure for me, and for all of my teammates, I hope so. So it's kind of, there is no like a way that I'm fixing a pressure. It's just goes like that.
And now you're undefeated on TI main stage so far.
Yeah. It feels happy.
Does it?
Yeah, it feels.
Can you describe the moment that you were playing just now in that series where you thought, oh my gosh, this is happening?
Yeah. It was something like that. Yeah, just in my head, like, oh my gosh, I'm winning EG. Like it is happening on the main stage. Like it was really good feeling. I never felt like that.
And you can tell there's so much respect between the two teams. So I know that makes it a little bit harder for both of you because, I mean, everybody who's here deserves to be here. But now you've got to set your sights next. Liquid, what are you thinking as you prepare to face Liquid?
Before a playoff, we kind of struggled playing against them. Like they were undefeated in our scrims when we played versus them. I don't know, we didn't think about playing versus Liquid yet. We will think later on. But I hope we'll do our best.
Even though EG came in as favorites to win tonight, they have a lot of fans out there. You guys have your fans as well. Is there anything that you want to say to them and people who are sticking with you guys and now they realize that you're going really far?
Yeah, I want to say hello to all fans who came to Key Arena and cheering for us and watching in internet, like sitting at home. It's late night in Russia. Like, you know, it's really hard for them to watch this game. Like, it's a pleasure for us to play like this, to give you emotions which you receive when you're watching these games.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I feel like you need to let out something. Do you feel? Where do you go from here? How do you let out all that energy that you just had on stage there?
I will scream if we win Liquid, something like that.
Okay.
I hope so.
Save the scream for later.
Yeah, I will save it
Sounds
for
good.
later. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Congratulations once again, Ghostic. Really appreciate it. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Ghostic, and congratulations once again. I mean, at this point, we now see in the upper bracket IG versus Newbie, LGD Forever Young, aka LFY, going up against Virtus Pro. And we have Team Liquid against Team Empire that will be happening in a few days. Just remarkable results.
It's TI, man. Anything can happen.
All right.
Like, that's how it is, you know. Like people talk about it all year, and you say anything can happen at TI, and I feel like it always proves to be true. You know, you have these teams that all year long they do really well. We've seen EG; they've had some pretty good results throughout the year. And, you know, now they're gone. And Empire, they've been looking shaky, but look at them, you know.
They did not look shaky in those games at all.
Nope.
What were the highlights of the day for you? Tomato, let's start with you.
Highlights of the day. Wow, that Empire game was pretty fun to watch. I enjoyed the teams like come together so well. Like each one of them is playing better and better each game. It's like when I saw them during group stage, they were like super weak. Like only Wrestle was carrying them, and now it's like everyone's making plays, and they're like Ghostic's making plays here, Roger's making plays. Really fun to watch.
It's hard to pick an all-star when it's Empire game.
Like the whole game was exciting. This is like my favorite match.
What about you, Merlini?
I think the hunger from the players. I think like most of the players that have already won a TI are out now, and I think our chances of getting a repeat winner are almost zero.
Is it Newbie, OG,
or just player-wise, just S4?
Oh, right.
Maybe? I think S4 is like the only one left. We started with, I believe, 5 at the start, and you can tell like all these
but
guys
Newbie and OG, they are the ones that have players left. Like Faith, and
Faith.
S4, those are the two.
I think there were a lot more, and I think these teams that haven't won a TI before, they just want this so badly, and you can tell from the way that they play, from the way that they look, from the way they enter the boost.
Yeah.
What about for you, Paikat?
What stood out? Well, like Tomato said, I really enjoyed this last game. I thought it was one of the most interesting games that we've seen today. It was like, it was a very even game up until the very last point. I feel like anything kind of could have happened. I would have to say that's my favorite game of today.
Well, I know that there's a whole lot of fans who have been sticking it through the entire day. We've been going for almost 12 hours straight, and Slacks is out with some of them to say goodbye for the night. Slacks, take it away.
Hey guys, we are outside in the arena. Everybody is going home. The cars are leaving. The stadium is emptying? Oh, whatever. Thank you. But the boys, I'm seeing a lot of sad faces out here, but I'm seeing a lot of happy ones too. An exciting game of Dota from everybody. A lot of favorites went home, but overall, we still saw some pretty good Dota, right everybody? Huh? Yeah! But we're gonna see more tomorrow, right? Yeah! So their hearts are not broken, because we all win when we see excellent Dota played, and that's what we saw here today, and we will see more of it tomorrow on more TI, correct? Yes! See? Hearts are mended. Everything's fine out here.
Thanks for fixing all the problems, Slacks.
Thank you.
Of course, there's so many teams that come into this event that have fans behind them hoping that they'll be able to push through to the finals. And when that heartbreak sets in, yes, it hurts, but you know what? As the days go on, new fans are formed because the teams thus far have been showcasing just extraordinary skill. Let's take one more look at the brackets, talk about the big matches that are going to be happening tomorrow. In particular, in that lower bracket, we have TNC going up against OG and LGD versus Digital Chaos.
I mean, we gotta talk about TNC OG, right? It's like the repeat of last year. We gotta see, like, it's the fight for top 8. Are TNC gonna do it like they did last year when they knocked OG out? Or is this gonna be the TI where OG actually, you know, pushing through that top 8 and then maybe go further? I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, OG did showcase almost a comfort, using a lot of chat wheels in their games against, you know, in that first round. They were feeling pretty good, it seemed. In their conversations, they seemed pretty good. What about in terms of the winners bracket? We will be doing that at the end of the day. Invictus Gaming versus Newbie and LFY versus Virtus Pro.
I'm excited for both of those games. Like, that's not the upper bracket that we all saw, but after the way that these teams played, like IG and Newbie, they look like the best that they've been in the past like 6, 7, 8 months. And I'm really excited to see them play. And really low expectations, actually, for both of them. But now I'm like, oh, man, these guys could go all the way.
Yeah, I mean, so many of the Chinese teams being so impressive, and Virtus Pro, the only non-Chinese team still remaining in the winners stages. So let me just say to all of you who came out today, to all of you who tuned in on the stream, thank you so much for coming out. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and have a great night. Cheers.